Not yet. Just going to put it on once you're gone fine.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, chefs from around the world. I'm Lingdo from WordChef, and it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you to another webinar by WordChef and Koppert Cress. So a few weeks ago, we have been introduced to the amazing world of microgreens by Chef Marcel. So today we are back to his kitchen to learn more about his Mother Earth principles and how you can actually use those beautiful cress in your innovative kitchen. And he's joined today also by his colleague, Michel. I think he's a little bit to the side. Would you like to come to the scene? So yes, he will be showing us more details about the cress and answering your question in the Q&A box also. So without further ado, I would like to leave the stage to Chef Marcel. You would actually have to unmute yourself. My apology.
Hello, dear all. Nice to have you here. And yeah, it's a pleasure to me, for me to be here and to talk today a little bit more about the cresses, how to use them as an added value and a special ingredient in all dishes, however you can think. Specifically in these days, we have to rethink our diet, our nutrition, how our cuisine, how we want to emulate, how we want to look into the future. So my name is Marcel Thiele, and I'm the certified master chef, pastry, and also known as the spice hunter, because I'm traveled and discovered more than 80 countries all over the world. So I learned a lot about different cultures and where the products are coming from and why the people started to eat some things, a question which is coming back in these days much more. So you can imagine if you ask some guys, wherever you are in the world, why are you eating tomatoes? And normally the people are saying, yeah, it's quite nice. I like the taste. I like the color. I like to play with these kind of things around. But at the end, if you know that a tomato, for example, is the only UV factor that you can eat to protect your skin your whole life and your day. So this kind of information and knowledge is coming back. Why humans started to eat some different things all over the world. And these kind of questions, I will give some answers, but also practically, I would like to show you today how you can build up your own Mother Earth principle. This is a kind of a new guideline which helps chefs all over the world to follow a strict but a nice, comfortable route or road at the end. It's a kind of a green line where you can rethink about your kind of guidance. So that means to talk about salt reduced, sugar reduced, and Mother Earth principle combines all these kind of things. It needs to be 80% plant-based nutrition and ingredients and maximum 20% animal-based ingredients. And next to that, also salt reduced, sugar reduced, a little bit more respect to the health effect to the humans who are eating that, not only perspecting to the guest as a kind of an entertainment. That's of course something which you need to really inspire by the rest. But at the end, it's very, very interesting to look forward what you can implement on the plate. There's a big change running through the world. We call it the diet change. Yeah, it's that more and more people start thinking to use more vegetables, more fruits, more plant-based ingredients as the main player on a dish or in the whole menu. I just want to give you upfront a small example. There was one restaurant in the middle of Europe. They started a kind of a test drive. They had two menus on the card. On one menu, on the right side, you could see a specific menu with an international flavors from all over the world and so on. And on the other side, you had a menu which is really regional, local, based on that. And later on, we said, okay, let's make a try with the power of the words and the Mother Earth principles. That means on the one side, they had a kind of a menu which is completely fully filled with starter, main course, desserts, the best of since the last 5 years. So every single guest who's coming in that restaurant will definitely find his personal favorite in this menu. It was like, wow, all the best of selection in that menu. On the other side, the menu was completely plant-based, small dots of animal ingredients, but mainly on the Mother Earth principles. But the focus was vegetables. Yeah. And now they added on top the power of the words. That means, what does it mean? The power of the words means all the blooming nice words around the rosemary sauce, about the pepper, the special Wotzi perifere pepper from Madagascar, for example. All these things were on the side with the classics, with the best of classics from the last 5 years. They reduced the blooming words, so not really marketing around these words. On the other side, the vegetables were blooming like mouth-watering. So you're reading that one, and it was without meat and fish, yeah? But you're reading that one, and all the guests were saying, wow, this is like overwhelming. The results after 2 months was really mind-blowing, because 87% of all guests were choosing the vegetarian version, the vegetarian menu. Also, if the guests were normal, meat lovers and so on. And the waiter was informed, because after the guests make the decision, the waiter asked, what was the reason why you're choosing the vegetarian menu? Is it about you are vegetarian, or what was the reason? And the main answer on that was, it sounds so interesting, I need to try that one. Yeah. So the power of the words. So you, as a chef, you really have it in your hand where you want to send the audience to, the traditional things, or do you want to go in another direction and follow the Mother Earth principles, the new guideline, the new way, which doesn't mean that you need to sort out meat and fish and so on. Oh my gosh, this is not the way. Don't think about that. But reducing that one, rise up the quality in what are you using. So, but 80% need to be plant-based, and that's a fantastic thing. Next to that, they figured out one side effect. The side effect was the cost calculation was going down. Okay, you need sometimes a little bit more for the preparation in the kitchen, but that was not really a problem at the end. But the cost calculation in the kitchen was going down, so they had much more space and playground to work with vegetables, fruits, and to figure out what they can do with that. And specifically in this way, I want to dive with you all together in the world where you maybe didn't expect this kind of things. So I just want to give you an example. Of course, I will talk a lot about cresses and how to implement these crazy and really, really overwhelming ingredients in the dishes as a nutrition, as an added value on your menu. You will see. But at the beginning, I would like to show you this one. This is a tiny aubergine. Yeah, but this tiny aubergine, you don't need to do anything with it. I just place it for 13 minutes, roughly 200 degrees in the oven. And then you will see what I will make out of that. Yeah, this is the first step. I just want to place it inside the oven. Nothing to do. Just place start 13 minutes, 195 degrees, so roughly 200. Yeah, so then we will see the rest. But I would like to show you today something what I call, also from respect to the Mother Earth principles, a Mother Earth dish. What does it mean? Mother Earth dish. Even if you are from China, if you are from France, if you are from Norway, from South Africa, from Italy, or from Germany, it doesn't matter. Wherever you are, you can create your own Mother Earth dish. What does it mean? It's about one dish. You can also bring that principles on the little tiny spoon, in the glass or in the bowl or whatever. But I would like to show you how it looks like as a kind of a main course today. So what does it mean, Mother Earth dish? First of all, you need a plate, and you can really think about which vegetables are harvested underground, under the soil, inside the earth. Yeah. So it's like potato. It's like some different roots and some other vegetables like carrots, for example, or beetroot and all this stuff. Yeah, this is the first what you place on the plate, as the first layer, which is harvested underground, and you bring it in your choice and your location and your regional products. You can choose whatever you want. If you bring it like just as a puree, as a gel, as a kind of a ragu or whatever, use your techniques, what you're willing to do. Just place it on the ground of the plate as the first layer. And that's what we are doing later on. The second layer is a kind of an edible soil. You know, you can't go out and just eat soil, so that's not the thing what you need to do. But at the end, you can really rethink about, maybe you did it already, which kind of ingredient in the recipe can looks like a soil or hummus or whatever. So it's like I just have the simplest preparation. It's like just roasted malt bread or pumpernickel, how you call it, craft bread. Yeah, it's just cut it into smaller pieces. Just place it in a kind of a nutrition blender, for example. Yeah, just put it here inside, like where you can easily make smoothies out of it or whatever. And later on, you have that one. Even if you roast that, if you bring some nuts inside, some other flavors, a specific oil, which really tastes like what you are and where are you from. So that means we have some examples, and I was so overwhelmed because I represent that one in the past of the Maldives, for example. And they said, we don't have this dark soil, we don't have this herb. Yeah. And one of these overwhelming chefs from there, from the Guild of Chefs of Maldives, he really surprised me because he was really rethinking about bringing a fish bouillon, for example, a coconut with tapioca and some sago peels together to create a kind of an edible sand. Yeah, that can also be the second layer. Yeah, just be crazy enough to rethink about what can be the soil, what you bring on the second layer. And then on top of the layer, you have the perfect match to the rest of the ingredients, taste-wise, where does it come from, and so on, the perfect match of different ingredients which fits together. There can be something really crazy. You can make some moss on top. You can bring also fish or, of course, the 20% of the animal-based ingredients on top. But today, I would like to show you a kind of a placement from here in Europe. So that means, first of all, I was choosing of course, with what is from underground, it's the potato. Yeah, and potato is not coming from Europe. You all know that. We have an anniversary about 500 years of local products in Europe. Can you imagine? So we have potatoes 400 years before. It was like an exote in Europe. So it was not really there. It was brought by the Portuguese, by the French, by the Spanish, and the Danish sailormen and people to bring from South and Middle America to Europe. But what we learned in the past, if you create something like this one together with really heavy herbs, what are heavy herbs? Heavy herbs can be something like rosemary, like thyme, like other ingredients. But I choose the one which is a little bit more confronted with the sailormen in the past, because that one was from the Mediterranean Sea. You can find it everywhere, from Creta, from Rhodos, from Greece, from Croatia. This one is sea fennel. Yeah, sea fennel is having a very intensive, heavy taste where you can really rise up the quality of an oil. For example, if you really have an olive oil which is not really intense and not so enthusiastic enough to be a part of the plate roll on the plate. So then just blend it together with a little bit sea fennel, filter that, and then look at the oil afterwards. But in this case, I'm just doing that one that I'm prepping. Oh, where is it? Here. It's just water. And the water is just made with the sea fennel. It's completely green, yeah, a little bit. Just a tiny, tiny part of that one. Blend it together with the water, place it in, just put them in as well, and start cooking the potatoes. Quite simple, yeah? And I really love the simple way, because when I learn something in that world, is as more as you touch the ingredients, as less the quality is going down. So that means if you are able to use it with less steps, then you can really save what about the beginning of the product. Yeah. So that means I cooked it already. The potatoes, because potatoes are from underground, and later on you have the simple potato. But I don't want to talk about the potatoes because it's not really specific. But if you think about the next steps, because I did everything in the morning, so I just need one hour in preparation with baking the bread as well. Specifically here, yeah, as you can see, this is not from the bakery. I did it by myself, quite easy. So we have the recipe on the homepage. You don't need anything. You don't need any specific machines in the kitchen or something else. The only thing what you need, I can show you up front, is just 3 types of oil. Yeah, it's one of the flours what you need to bring inside. So maybe
It's not a screen.
It's not on the screen? Okay. Sorry. As you can see here, this is just the flour from wheat, yeah, wheat flour, but just 100 gram. You have 100 gram of, how you say that in English? That's now the case. Sorry. Sometimes I have also a translation problem in that. But this is a more heavier flour, yeah? So you need to really have less inside.
Rye bread.
White bread.
Rye bread.
Rye bread, yeah. And then we have the last one. It's the one my assistant will translate, so don't mind in that. No, spelt flour, yeah. Spelt flour is 300 grams, so in total 500 grams. Then you are blending everything together, and I would like to show you one more thing, what you need to do. That's interesting, because I don't create a bread which is just pure. No, we have here this Aubergine Cress. Yeah, I can show you in the camera. This is Aubergine Cress, and Aubergine Cress is one of the cresses which is really interesting for a lot of chefs, because this cress is quite often used just as a decoration, because it looks really nice on the plate. Yeah. So you have tiny leaves, you have bigger leaves, you have these curly tiny leaves on top as well. But what I'm doing, I'm using that as an ingredient because the taste inside is so interesting, and you can implement that easy in the bread just to rise up a specific other taste panel or taste level. I just need 3 of these cups, yeah? Place it here inside and fill it up with some water, yeah? And if the water is in, I just need to blend it again, as you can see here. Yeah, just a second, I will blend it. Just blend it, and then you have the green water, which is also 500 milliliters inside. You need fresh yeast together, and put the yeast inside the water, but just to be sure, the water needs to be around 40 degrees. You just place it here inside, yeah, as I'm doing that, for example. I really love that one, yeah. So you can really think about if you have some cresses left over, for example, and sometimes it is like that, if you have a sakura mix or something else, you just have it there, yeah. You just need to bring it inside the water, blend it. You can save all ingredients and all taste inside with the yeast. You have that one, yeah. And at the end, you bring just the flour together. I don't need to show you how it works, but at the end, it's very easy to understand, because you mix the flours inside. You take the salt, a little bit sugar inside, and maybe a dash of of an acidity inside, but just a tiny dash. Yeah. The recipe you will find on our website. So there's a bread which is called Chiso bread. Instead of Chiso, you are just using a Koppert Cress. So the recipe is even the same, and you just need to put it in the oven for 65 minutes, 200 degrees, with over and under heat, and that's it. Yeah. You take it out, and later on you have this perfect bread. Yeah. As you can see, the crust outside is very heavy, but inner is really soft. You can see it here. So, and but what is the bread on the dish of a main course? So that means in total everything I will show you. It's like you just need to open the bread, as you can see here. This is how bread needs to look like. Yeah, it's really soft here inside. Yeah, outside is crunchy. So yeah, you are your own baker. But at the end, you're just using a slide of that. You can do something with the bread, whatever you want. But what you can do as well is just to cut the bread into smaller pieces. Yeah, and ground it together as the kind of a soil, roasted that at the end, and have a nice overwhelming taste and crunchiness on top of the plate. You will see later on. Yeah. So what are we doing now? First of all, I'm taking out just a second, a little bit more time, and then we will have the rest. But in between, I will show you something more what we need to do as well. Because I decided to go for the potatoes with sea fennel together. I decided to go for a nice beetroot taste with Chiso purple inside. Yeah, you know Chiso purple. Chiso purple is a wonderful, brilliant leaf which includes a lot of flavor inside, and you don't need so much of these leaves. In this recipe, because at the end I just used 4 to 5 of these leaves. Yeah, tastes like ground cumin, garam masala a little bit, but it brings up the quality and the taste level of a beetroot. You know, if you are going to countries where beetroot is very popular, you're using cloves inside or shiso to combine it together with the beetroot to sort out the moldy and muddy flavor, what a lot of people don't like in beetroot, for example. That's one of the main things what the chefs need to know, because at the end, and I can bring you an example. I was in Russia in the past, and there were a lot of recipes with beetroot, but there are some hidden secrets inside the recipe which need to be added if a guest from outside the country is coming in and wanted to try that once. Yeah, because sometimes they think, oh, it's too strange the taste for me. I like it, but I can't eat it so often. Yeah, because you're not convinced to that. But at the end, if you know a little bit more about, then you are really surprised if you combine shiso and beetroot. These both things are brilliant together. Yeah, so. Shiso is in. What did I do? I just used and squeezed fresh cooked beetroots to make a kind of a nice juice out of that. A dash of salt, a little bit salt inside, but not so much. A little bit cloves. The shiso leaves, I blended them in and filtered that out later on. And then the end result is something like that. I would like to show, because the rest is already prepped. What is that inside? Of course, it's a half portion. Yeah, no, the rest is all already created. So I will show you in total. This is stocked with agar-agar, plant-based gelatin. Yeah, so it's quite easy to use. It's 16 or 14 gram. So yeah, as you can see it here, it's like now completely prepped. And this one, or the flavor, the flavor is like having shiso and beetroot. I love it. And as far as you have that one ready, you put it just in the cooler, no, not in the freezer. Yeah, take it out and make with these ones, just cut it into smaller pieces like this. Yeah, you can use the smaller things later on as well. But at the end, you have the flavor here inside, and just blend it and mix it up together with yuzu, with lemon, or whatever you have. A little bit acidity inside, a little bit liquid, to bring it into a gel form. Yeah, and then the strong, heavy texture is now really gelling and very, very nice in the texture to bring it on top of the plate. Yeah? So this one is already prepared, as you can see. So we have here the beetroot with Chiso purple, the potato with sea fennel, and we have the bread with afila inside. Yeah. So what now? I was thinking if I'm bringing something on the plate and cover that with some warm, crunchy, earthy taste, I need something which is, yeah, connected to Mother Earth. So what can it be? A stone? Yes, of course. I implement something, and I really like that, to implement some animal-based ingredients in a form which is not recognizable as an animal. Yeah. So that means I prepped something what I call an edible stone. And this edible stone, I will take it out. Just want to show you. Here inside, I'm having here an air chiller, which is really cooling down rapidly and then very fast. So inside, there's an edible stone in this pavoni form, or silicon form from pavoni. It looks like a stone, yeah, as you can see here. Yeah? It looks like a stone. This stone is made out of, and now it comes, I prep just liver, liver from the chicken, yeah, simple chicken liver, with some shallots, some onions, some leek, and some Kiona mustard cress. So the Kiona mustard cress is a little bit more. Now it's chopped, so you need to wait. I will tell later. Inside of the recipe will be available later on as well, so don't be worried about. So it's quite easy. So what you can do is you can bring a flavor and a texture inside, which reminds you to foie gras, for example, really soft, really interesting. But at the end, the half is nice goat butter, for example. It can be something else, yeah, whatever. You can really play with that. It's a little bit like a mixture between 60% of that, 40% of that. And Kiona mustard is inside, one of the main taste spender at the end. But what we are doing here is I'm just taking them out, and you can prep everything in advance. So you don't need to purchase a really, how to say, the expensive foie gras or something else. Use normal things from the animal. If you have some liver, and at the end, you just need to cover that one. I just want to show you here inside the pot is a mixture from coconut fat on the one hand. On the other hand, it's chocolate butter, yeah, it's cacao butter, and tahun cress. Tahun cress is the flavor inside the coconut. Yeah, if you combine these kind of things, it reminds you a little bit like lardo, yeah, from the Italian bacon at the end. Now it's not bacon, but it's like fat, yeah, but with a lot of herbs inside. Tahun is the cress, which is for me the perfect ingredient if you want to add specific flavor inside. This is for me the new rosemary, yeah, because it tastes like the forest after rain. You have a lot of imprints from taste levels inside. It tastes like forest after rain with a little bit moss inside, like mushrooms and some tiny nuts inside. So it's really interesting. You just need to cut one punnet, blend it together with 100 milliliter or 80 milliliter oil, blend it up, heat it up for just a second, let it stock and filter that up. Then you have a color and heat stable oil where you can create a lot of things around. Yeah. And if that one, you take it out from the freezer, yeah, and just cover that 3 times with that fat. Why is that black? coal powder inside. As you can see here, it's immediately stocking or shocking. And you do it 3 times. Why 3 times? Because the cover needs to be strong enough, because the texture is getting warmer. And if it's not breaking, you just need to cover that 3 times. And then it's finished, not more, because otherwise it's getting too much from this crust around. And I really call it the basalt crust, because the basalt is like the name of this stone, what you easily can see and connect to the world of spa hotel, for example, from the treatments. You have this hot stone things, yeah. So these black stones, it's really like also like a symbol to healthcare and taking care about your soul and body. So that means an edible stone on top of the plate makes really, really sense. And you can bring all flavors inside. So we have the Kiona mustard inside and the tahun cress in the crust outside. So I will do some more just to show you how it looks like. Yeah. You can see really also the color here of this stone. It's not really green. It's a little bit like gray green or brown green, really like the Kiona mustard. Kiona mustard is here, yeah? So this is the wild mustard, which is really intense in taste and fruity in taste. Maybe you can hold it also in one more time. This is Kiona mustard. I love the texture. I love the leaves, the different leaves, which reminds also from the forest a little bit, yeah? So this is really something what fits. And you can easily prep that in advance. You can freeze it again, so the crust will not break if you have the right temperature. Just take care that this fat here with the coal powder inside and the tahun cress is not getting too hot. If that one is getting too hot and it's more than 50 degrees, for example, then you have a problem because it's breaking so fast. And otherwise you just can, I will show you. So now it's stocked. You take it between the fingers, yeah. Take it out just in one cut, and then you have it, and it's completely. Don't touch it from the top, yeah. That you don't have the fingerprints on top. And this is one of the edible stones. So this is quite interesting. I keep them outside, so you can prep that. Yeah. 1 hour before, yeah, that's completely enough. You take it out of the freezer if it's ready, yeah. 1 hour before, half an hour is also nice, yeah. Just take them out, just 1 and 2 and 3, yeah. So it's not really complicated. So if you have it and if you know it how it works, and you can easily make 400 of that. So I just make it slower right now. It's so interesting. That's a nice investment. These specifically these silicone mats and 3. You can really see that, yeah. Now it's shining, a glamour on top. The coldness is coming out, and now it's stocking, yeah. So it's getting matte on top of that, yeah. Really nice. So that's it. Back. Yeah, and just take just a second, put it on top of that, and that's fine. So placing that back, because we don't need so much stones. Just place it back in the freezer, and that's it. Because I want to create something which is also very, very unique and nice. I use this buffalo. This is like a buffalo yogurt, yeah, just from buffalo, with some jasmine flour inside. That's the reason why I will place that on top. So it's just blended with that one. A little bit chocolate fat inside, pure, that's it. That's why the color is like that. It's also a white stone, yeah, so you have a black and a white stone. I just place it outside that it can defrost a little bit. And then I will show you the next steps. Yeah. Set already. We have here nice aubergine. Yeah. Tiny, tiny aubergine, as you can see here. It was 30 minutes in the oven, just like that. Yeah. Just taking them out. Show you what you can do with it. Because in the past I was wondering why people are eating that quite simple in the rest of the world. But if you take a closer look to the countries where it comes from, yeah, take a look to the past, how they did it in the past, it's like, yeah, a little bit shocking why we are doing something completely different with it. So, and if you open that one, I will show you later on in the camera. We will bring out the caviar of that. It looks awesome. That one is the caviar. I don't know if you ever have seen that one, or specifically the aubergine like this, because normally everybody is cutting them up front. No, you really can see, and I will hold it in the camera. Maybe you can do that.
Yeah. Oh, not too bad. Yeah.
That is the final result of an aubergine, but aubergine caviar. Just cut the ends, take the skin off, peel it out. It's like a hidden secret in the plant-based or vegetarian world, because this taste is incredible. If you take that out, it's really like special caviar, but plant-based. And that's one what I would like to create today. This one's okay. I just need to take it out. The rest is filled. So, and even if you have done the plate, this is a specific one from a designer from Koppert. It's made a little bit with spirit from Ireland, from Irish and Asia combination. So what I'm doing here is just prepping some vegetables which are harvested underground. I'm just placing them here on top of the plate. I'm using the potatoes as well. It starts really, really simple, as you can see, because at the end it needs to be something unique. So just taking that one out. Like that. And the last one, also prepped with skin, 30 minutes in the oven, because then it's the taste a little bit also like nuts. Yeah, inside. Used later, and here we have the flavor of beetroot and shiso. Also beetroot from underground. So I'm just placing that ones here inside. Well, if you can smell this taste, it's like heaven. Oh my gosh. I really like that. So this is for the main course. Then we have here the soil we can bring on top. Just need to blend one more thing of that. a nice filler bread. Just a second. So it's just a second preparation. Just bring it on the side. And you have this one as well. So the tougher one will be placed on top. You can roast it one more time, but I decided to use that one in fresh instead of the heavy bread, what I have around, to give it more texture. That one is a little bit more heavy roasted with malt inside. Just place it like this around. Then you really have this texture of this soil. It's like that. Then we will place the first stone on top. It's the black one. Then we have the second stone, which is the white one. Placing them next to that with the yogurt. That away. And I'm doing something which is made at the end. For that, I just need a little bit of this tahun oil. It's the green oil, which is really fantastic. Tahun cress. Just place it over here for a second. So I'm cooking here the Molteni, you know, so this is quite an interesting place for a chef. I love it. So it just takes a couple of seconds, rise it up, heat it up, and it's completely enough to take the caviar inside, cover that, not more, really not more, and place it directly on top. You can make so much things. You just need to, sometimes you need to turn the direction, your own position to these vegetables. And the guests will be surprised because never seen a kind of a Aubergine Caviar, for example, on top of that placements. So now, a little bit on top of that, this is from the tahun oil. Beginning. Then I'm making something like with the specific Gangnam tops. Yeah, these Gangnam tops taste a little bit like chicorée. Some of them call it. It looks like, or it tastes a little bit like the fruity part of the coffee bean. Yeah, but I don't see it in this perfecto, so I don't want to match that with a coffee bean. But for me, it's the perfect taste of a chicorée inside, but with a little bit more. Let's say the sweetness from the chicorée inside. Yeah.
Somebody's asking if you can bring in closer the plate.
The plate, yes, yeah. Of course. I will. I will do that. Maybe you can see.
I can also host it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to add.
I will place some just the rest on top, and then you can see a little bit more how it works. Yeah. I'm just placing here on top of the plate now these Gangnam tops, always 2 times, just with covering this oil. And the good thing from the Gangnam tops is really like the leaves are standing up again. Yeah, so they don't fall down. Yeah, they're standing up again one more time. This is like really cool. See that? So these ones are the Gangnam tops, and the perfect match of a caviar, of an aubergine caviar, is the Moai caviar. Moai caviar is one of the best, or the best umeboshi algae. Umeboshi algae is from Japan, is the original name. But if you really dive into the past and the history of this umeboshi algae, then you really figure out there's something more, what we call Moai. Yeah. So inside there's a plant-based caviar. It's an underwater grown plant, which is having a really nice taste and texture, which looks like in caviar, but at the end, it's like if you bite on that, it's really blocking a little bit on the tongue. It's like sparkling on the one side, but it's not really sparkling. It's something really interesting. And if you place just this one on top of the aubergine caviar and eat these ones together, amazing, amazing taste. Yeah, I just placed them here together. This is the perfect match. And as I said, in the white stone, there is jasmine inside and the buffalo yogurt. Yeah, just to add the ingredients on top. Then it seems for me as logical to point out the flour one more time. It's a little bit a secret from my side, because a lot of chefs are asking me, why are you not placing the flour like it grows with the stamp on the bottom and the flour on the top? No, I'm always turning that around, because the other side is the side which is for me much more interesting, just to show it around. And then we had inside the bread, we had also the taste of the Aphylla cress inside. Do you remember? Aphylla is something which is comes out of the world of peas, for example. Yeah, it's at the end you need the taste of a bean blossom, which reminds you one more time to the taste what you have already inside. And this is something which is really interesting to show you. Maybe you can, would you like to see it one more time?
Can I show it closer?
I will hold it closer. This is the Mother Earth principle. And as you can see here, we have Aphylla cress inside the bread. We have jasmine flour inside the buffalo yogurt in the white stone. The black stone is covered with a black crust with tahun cress inside, and specifically this chicken liver half with the Kiona mustard, and I call it Kiona mustard stone. And you have all the flavors from underground, you have the edible soil, and you have the perfect match on top. And that's a kind of a signature dish, what comes from here, from this region, from this season, and from my personal impression. But you are able to create your own wherever you come from. Put these 3 layers on top of the plate, in a spoon, in a bowl, in the glass or whatever, and choose your own ingredients to rise that up. Follow the Mother Earth principles, with salt reduced, sugar reduced, and be focused on plant-based nutrition, or plant-based ingredients. Sorry. Yeah, you can show the family camera. Yeah. And really rethink about how to use the products different. And if you have this tiny aubergine and you make this tiny aubergine caviar out of that, to use tahun cress, cover that around and bring the moai caviar on top, this is the perfect match. Yeah, this really makes the sense, and we will definitely make a picture of that dish, and we make a picture of that dish and send out the recipe as well. Yeah, so this is quite interesting to rethink about how to use cress as an ingredient. Yeah, and I will show you something more out of that world, because if you really rethink about, you can create such a lot of things. Yeah, you can think into different levels. You can do whatever you do, but please keep in mind, if you want to focus into the future, think about the evolution. Transport your own old recipes into the new age, into the new world, in the new presence. And revolution is on the one hand, evolution is the one which really makes sense for the future. So if you don't mind, we would like to help you. If you have a traditional dish or something else, send us the idea. And if you are lost in inspiration or whatever, we can help. Yeah. So go to koppertcress.com on the website. So we built a lot of things up there. We spend a lot of effort in it to rise up a recipe database. We put all these information from these plants inside and so on. But at the end, it just makes sense if you start working with these kind of ingredients in the kitchen, and this is really the difference. Yeah. So what shall we say now? I'm here in the small city called Monster, where the headquarters of Koppert Cress is in, and I'm very proud to work for this company, but on the other hand, I have now the idea to show up the main visionary behind Koppert Cress, because for me, and yes, of course, I'm telling you that not as a Koppert Cress employee, as a chef, and from the bottom of the heart, there are a lot of people working for Koppert Cress, of course, but also for a better future and the culinary heritage of tomorrow. So we can create the future much better, and we don't need to wait for better times. We should be the better times, or however. If you don't mind, I would like to say just a small hello, because it's not very often that we have a chance. So here is Mr. Rob Baan. He is really, really a fantastic guy. You need to listen to him much more.
Yes, well, what can I say? I'm impressed. I've seen a dish before. It's beautiful, and a big surprise. And you know, when you find a plant in nature, you're very happy that it works, but that fits our system. But then you find a plant, you have an idea, you want to grow it, you have to learn how to grow it, then you play with it, and then if a chef says, "Thank you," that's the biggest, applause for nature I can find.
Absolutely. Applause for nature. That's what
because
we need to hear much more.
we don't invent plants. I mean, the plant exists. And,
Yes.
and for me, the most interesting part is that at least 10,000 more plants in the world growing, which we don't eat. So the challenge is to find that, to go further and make much more of this assortment. The forgotten plants, or the plants our grandparents used to eat, and now we can eat them again. And I just recall a beautiful trip to Armenia, where we just were in the field. I said, "Okay, which plants can you eat?" And they said 6 plants. And then the driver said, "They know nothing." He picked out 30 more. So yeah, the future is rich, the future is beautiful, the taste is beautiful, and you can make much more flavors with plants than you can make with meat. And I'm always surprised when you go to the butcher, you see all those vegetable or meat products with all kind of flavors enhanced. Why you have to put flavor to meat? Use less meat and eat more plants. That's more better. Yeah, that's better. So So I just stepped in. I just watching what you were doing, and
all fine.
It looks very nice. So thank you. Good luck, and keep up the good work. Bye.
Yes. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact us. Call us, write us, whatever. I will be here for now, specifically now. If you have some questions, just write it right now, because we have so much effort. And then just to keep it with the words from the last 2-3 years, we had 450 chefs per week in our company who are interested. It's like overwhelming how to see chefs. They are coming in and saying, as Rob said before, we didn't know that this plant is growing in our country and is existing, and so on. And we need to really learn about that. Just to resume it together. We have a lot of things inside. Do you remember which cress we had in this black crust outside, which looks awesome? It's like the tahoe cress, yeah. From the outside, the crust is flavored by tahoe cress, and inside you have this bread, which is on the plate. It's like, wow. I would love to see that much more, but my request specifically to you would be, if I can ask this or tell you this wish to have in the next months, maybe till end of the year, your personal Mother Earth dish from the country where you are, from the season where you are, with the regional products that you have, combined with the power of Koppert Cress products in it, with these 3 layers, whatever you are doing, send us the picture, the recipe, and whatever. We would like to really show that in a bigger show to rise up all the different Mother Earth dishes from different countries. And now it's your game to play with that. So I will be overwhelmed to receive pictures, ideas, inspirations from your side. So we will help, and we will wait also. And one more thing is, we're thinking about a lot of things in the kitchen to prep these kind of cresses. But just keep in mind, if you have a menu, you have starters, you have main courses, you have fish, vegetarian, vegan, whatever, desserts, and so on. But really think about the next generation, about the kids' menu. And I can tell just with my words, if you take a closer look, and a lot of more critical guys will run around the world to specifically take a closer look to that part of the culinary world. If you really want to mirror a culture or a hotel or an effort from a culinary group, which is really blank and really clear, just take a closer look to the kids' menu. And then you can really see the truth. If the kids' menu is fully filled with convenience foods, with it's just fried and whatever, and not really something with such an effort like the adults receive. So if you really want to make the change also for the next generation, keep in mind, change the kids' menu. Don't separate kids' menu in total, whatever, and rethink about this one. Yeah. So what shall I say? One more. Do you have questions?
Yes, we have a lot of them. And would you like me to read it out loud for you and for you to address live?
Yes.
Yes. So there's some questions relate directly to the recipe that you just prepared.
Yes.
From Inger, she asked, what oil is used for the stone, and would there be a recipe available for these specific elements of the plate?
Yes, we will. I will write it down completely, specifically this dish. Yeah, so we make a picture out of that, and every single thing will be in the recipe as well. So you definitely will receive that one. Yeah, specifically in the stone. So the stone inside is goat butter, 0.5%. The rest is really salted chicken liver with the Kiona mustard cress, with some shallots inside, onions, and so on. So it's really with low temperature over hours. So it's really easy to prep. Blend it, mix it together with the Thermomix. You can do it, whatever. Don't raise it up later on. Less than 55 degrees. Plus the goat butter together. Make a kind of an emulsion. Bring it inside the silpet, freeze it, and cover that with 80% is coconut fat, 20% is chocolate fat without chocolate, just the chocolate butter, and tahun cress inside. So that's the stone.
Wonderful. It will be available on your Instagram also, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. I will link it also to that page as well. Yeah.
Yes. So here's another questions related to the recipe. Is it possible to add a barley in watercress meal?
Barley in watercress meal? What do you mean?
Yeah, I think we need some more explanation from the chat who asked this question. So can you please specify in the chat? In the meanwhile, then for flavor oil, do you first shook the grains to lock color or just go straight to the puree?
You can you can do it in two ways. Let me say, if you just cut the tahun cress, for example, like here, yeah, you just cut the tahun cress, put it in the blender inside, fill it up with oil, mix it together, and I have two things what I can do with that. Yeah. First of all, you can use it straight like it is here. Yeah, with all the things inside. So it's completely plain. It's not plain. It's not filtered and so on. So it really depends on how you produce it. Yeah. If you want to have it really, really clear, just put it in the pot, heat it up, 140 degrees, something like that. But just a couple of seconds that it's plucked up, the protein inside goes stocking. And then you can filter that one, and then you have all flavors and the color inside the oil. Just filter that up, and then you just put it in a kind of squeezing bottle or whatever, and then you can use that one. Yeah. So it really don't mind. And if you have the rest, specifically the these ones that you have here next to that, if you have this stocked protein inside, it's not only chlorophyll. Yeah. So you have a lot of flavors inside. You can use that in a pesto, in some farces, and some other fillings. So it's pure taste. Yeah, use it. You have two separate using possibilities with it.
Yes, thank you, Chef, for your answer. Next one. So the tahun and shishu oil, the temperature was 50 degrees in Celsius or Fahrenheit?
No, to heat up 140 degrees.
Is that in Celsius or Fahrenheit? Because that's the question.
Celsius.
Celsius.
Yeah.
Yes, so that is addressed. Another question for the beetroot gel. Did you puree it in prior to loading to the pastry bag?
Yes. So first of all, I just prep the juice. So I cook the beetroot with some as you can see here, as well, with the cardamom leaves inside. So you don't need to use them, but it's also specifically in that case I use 2 leaves for the whole bunch, but also 4 of these Chiso purple leaves. Yeah, the Chiso purple leaves are just blended inside. I filtered that out. Then I have 1 liter in total of the liquid, 1 liter and 60 grams of 13 grams of agar-agar, so the plant-based gelatin. Yeah, and then you have this result. Yeah, these sheets or pieces at the end. You just bring it in the blender and mix it up with some lemon juice. You can use yuzu, lemon, or just a dash of apple juice. You can a little bit acidity should be inside, but not too much. Yeah, spoon by spoon, blend it, and then you have the real gel at the end. So it's easy preparation. It costs you just 10 minutes in preparation with boiling. Fill it up, stocking that one in the cooler in the fridge, and then take it out when it's needed. Just blend it, mix it, and then you have the final gel with the nice texture here inside. Yeah. Answer no?
Thank you, Chef.
Yeah.
That's really clear, the instruction. We have one last question.
Yeah.
So does a sea fennel a family plant of asparagus?
Yes.
Let me rephrase. So is sea fennel does it belong to the same family as asparagus?
No, because sea fennel, as you can see here, right? I'm taking that out. We have sea fennel here. Is
the reason why they asked it, because of the taste trends.
That's because I was wondering at the beginning why this question is poking up much more. As you can see it here, of course, the taste friends of sea fennel. Sea fennel is a plant which is a cretum, and it's grown between the rocks next to the Mediterranean Sea, as you can imagine. So it's one of the oldest flavor plants from the Mediterranean Sea. But some of them, some other versions are also known in Asia and Africa, which are connected to the culinary heritage in the past. So they use these kind of things together always with fish, with potatoes, with mushrooms, and fruity di mare at the end. Yeah, so it's very, very flavorful. So you have a lot of potential inside, and some of the chefs call it also the Croatian Croatian herb, yeah, because it grows everywhere there and next to the sea. Yeah, but I really like that one because it's really flavoring and then fitting together with pumpkin, for example, with mushrooms. And if you go to really deep in the Siberian cuisine, for example, and also the Lithuania, Estonia, Finland, and the Scandinavian cuisine, you have also a lot of flavors inside there. They combine it very often with mushrooms. Yeah, so just blend it with the oil, with the sea fennel. Yeah. And pickle the mushrooms or fry the mushrooms in it, or just prep it with the oil together at the end. It's enormous, the taste. And there is one secret: if you have also a combination with algae, if you're using some spirulina or Koppert Cress algae powder, for example, and you combine it with sea fennel, it's very interesting to combine it also in the dessert. This specific flavor matches perfectly to cherries, for example, to plum and these kind of things. It's very interesting to experiment a little bit with sea fennel also in the dessert.
Wonderful, Chef. I know that we are a little bit running over time, but there's one last question that is very interesting from the audience that I would like to ask you. Yeah. What book do you recommend the audience to read to know more about the Mother Earth principle? And will you be hosting more virtual class like this in the future?
So you will see in the future there will be much more change. And I would like to say to every single chef, you can follow trends, you can wait for trends, but if you really go one step behind and take the whole big picture, and if you want to be part of the future evolution, the movement, take a closer look to these plants, learn much more about these plants. This is more than decoration. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, the Mother Earth concept is the future, because that combines everything, single thing. If you see as a big circle, the whole culinary world, as more on the right side of the culinary world is going something bad or something damaged or whatever, some problems are rising up, as more revolution is coming here. Do you have more of this not really likeful industrial alternatives for the high-end nice things what chefs can do, for example, then the other side will be much more intense in revolution. But revolution is not just a side effect that on the other side is going something wrong. And if you want to go to the real future, go the way in the middle, go the way of evolution instead of revolution, transform your old recipes into the new age, respect your heritage, respect where you're coming from, and don't forget that we as chefs wear the white jacket as an honor from the doctor's side. In the Middle Age, we received this colorful white jacket from the doctor if a chef was preparing the dish in the healthy and correct way. This one is coming back right now, and much more in future. So dive into that knowledge. Where does it come from? How can I use that one? Specifically, if you have tomatoes, don't put them in the fridge. You're really damaging everything what's inside. The flavor, the things what tomatoes are doing inside your body, and so on. All these things. And this needs to be mirrored much more out. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to contact us. We will try to do our best to help you, to support you, and so on. And if you dive into my world as a spice hunter as well, so you will definitely see spice doesn't stand just for the spice by itself. It stands for all green pharmacy, what chefs are putting on the plate. And green pharmacy sounds something like very far away, but think about herbs, apotheke, Yeah, pharmacy, apotheke. Apo means herbs and tech means the room, the storage room. Yeah, so everything is on top of the plate, and you can't prepare a meat or a goose without herbs. You can't prepare a cauliflower without curcuma, for example, or other functional things which makes it healthy at the end. So it makes sense to really think about these kind of products. And Koppert Cress is producing all of these crazy, incredible things what old cultures in every single spot in the world are using and having that as a part of their whole culinary heritage.
Thank you so much, Chef, for such a wonderful session. I believe that all of us here have learned a lot from you and also very much inspired by the mother's principle. So I would just like to wrap up by saying thanks, biggest thanks to you and also to everyone who's working at Koppert Cress. Michelle included. So yes, thank you so much for putting together this wonderful sessions for us. And we're very much looking forward to have more webinars or live sessions with you once things get back to normal. So thank you so much. And just to all the audience, thank you so much for spending your time with us today. And we'll be in touch for more recipes, for all the questions that you've been asking us, we will address in the follow-up email. Would you like to finish it off by saying something, Chef Marcel?
I just want to thank you that we are getting the chance also to spread out this nice webinar and to reach you specifically wherever you are sitting, you as chefs all over the world. So I'm really proud about that. We saw each other in Kuala Lumpur, we saw each other in Monaco or wherever. So please look, I'm looking forward to meet you. Don't hesitate to write us, me personally, or Michiel, or the company by self. We are on each channel. You can find us as Koppert Cress or Marcel Thiele. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to do something with your creations. And if you would send us some of your inspirational Mother Earth dishes, that would be the best for us.
Thank you so much, and wish you a wonderful day, everybody who's on this call today.
Thank you. You too. All the best.